السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا دائما أبدا لا انقضاء له، نحمده ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه، ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ولا هادي له من بعده، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إلها واحدا أحدا فردا صمدا لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله، أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد، وبارك وترحم وتحنن على محمد وآل محمد، كما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله واتباع أمره واجتناب نهيه. أما بعد، أيها الإخوة المؤمنون وأيتها الأخوات المؤمنات، فقد قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. تمتع نبينا الأعظم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم بمزايا وصفات كثيرة جدا، منها أنه كان في قمة التقوى وفي قمة الورع وفي قمة الشجاعة وفي قمة الكرم، وكل الصفات الإيجابية والفضائل كانت مجتمعة في نبينا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. لكن القرآن الكريم اختار أن يصف النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم بصفة معينة، ويمتدحه على مزية خاصة فيه، وهي صفة الأخلاق والخلق العظيم، فيخاطبه بالقول: وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. ذلك أن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم ضرب المثل الأعلى للمسلمين في حسن الخلق. لماذا يؤكد الإسلام على هذه الصفة عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله؟ لأن حسن الخلق من أهم الصفات المطلوبة في الإنسان المسلم. أذكر لكم بعض الروايات. الحديث الأول عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، لا بأس صلوا عليه بأعلى أصواتكم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: الإسلام حسن الخلق. النبي اختصر الدين، اختصر الإسلام كله بكلمتين. إذا تريد تعرف ما هو الإسلام، حقيقة الإسلام حسن الخلق. البعض يتصور الإسلام صلاة وصيام فقط. النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يقول: الإسلام حسن الخلق. يختصر الدين الإسلام كله بكلمتين: حسن الخلق. ثم يقول أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام: عنوان صحيفة المؤمن حسن خلقه. يعني إذا أنت ردت تخلي عنوان للمسلم، تجمع كل الفضائل وتخلي لها عنوان رئيسي، أمير المؤمنين يقول: العنوان الرئيسي صحيفة المؤمن هو حسن الخلق. وأيضا هذا حديث عجيب أيها الأعزاء عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، يقول إن العبد ليبلغ بحسن خلقه عظيم درجات الآخرة وشرف المنازل وإنه لضعيف العبادة. يقول واحد مسلم ضعيف العبادة، يعني شنو ضعيف العبادة؟ يعني ما يصلي صلاة الليل، مو حريص على صلاة الليل، ولا يصلي النوافل، يقتصر على الواجبات الصلوات الواجبة، ولكن يأتي يوم القيامة عند الله وقد بلغ أعلى مراتب العبادة. شلون؟ كيف؟ من خلال حسن الخلق. حسن الخلق يبلغ بالإنسان أعلى المراتب، يقول رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، أعلى درجات الآخرة وشرف المنازل. يتعجب الناس يوم القيامة، هذا شو مسوي اللي معطيه هذا المكان، هاي المنزلة العظيمة؟ هل كان يحرص على صلاة الليل؟ لا. هل كان يحرص أن يروح للحج كل سنة؟ لا. هل كان يصلي النوافل كلها؟ لا. يكتشف الإنسان أن سبب ارتقاء هذا المؤمن إلى هذه الدرجات العالية بسبب حسن خلقه. أخلاقه كانت جميلة، تعامله مع الناس كان لطيف، كان عنده سعة صدر، كان عنده ابتسامة في وجهه، كان متسامح، مو معقد، مو شايل أحقاد الدنيا في قلبه ويمشي ويكره الناس ويحكي على هذا ويحط من قدر هذا. لا، أخلاقه جميلة. إن العبد ليبلغ بحسن خلقه عظيم درجات الآخرة وشرف المنازل وإنه لضعيف العبادة. ويقول أيضا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: إن صاحب الخلق الحسن له مثل أجر الصائم القائم. الإنسان اللي أخلاقه حلوة وجميلة وطيبة يتسجل له ثواب الإنسان الصائم اللي كل يوم يصوم وكل يوم يقوم الليل، وهو لا قايم الليل ولا صايم الدهر، لكنه حسن الأخلاق. لاحظوا أعزائي كم يؤكد الإسلام على حسن الخلق، حسن التعامل مع الآخرين. ويقول صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم أيضا، يقول: إن أحبكم إلي، من أحب المسلمين إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله؟ إن أحبكم إلي وأقربكم مني يوم القيامة مجلسا أحسنكم خلقا وأشدكم تواضعا. إذا تريد تكون قريب من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يوم القيامة، مجلسك يوم القيامة يكون قريب من رسول الله، بحيث تتشرف بزيارة رسول الله. يقولوا لك أنت كل يوم في الجنة عندك ساعتين تزور فيها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، مو قبر الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم، تزور نفس الرسول، تقعد معاه، تتكلم معاه، تسلم عليه. مجلسك يكون قريب من مجلس رسول الله، وتكون حبيبا إلى قلب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. يحبك النبي. الوصفة لذلك هي أن تحسن خلقك، يكون عندك أخلاق طيبة، أخلاق ناعمة، أخلاق فاضلة. والآن رحنا نتحدث ماذا يعني أن تكون صاحب أخلاق حسنة. ويقول أيضا صلى الله عليه وآله: ما من شيء أثقل في الميزان من حسن الخلق. واحد من مواطن القيامة أيها الأعزاء، القيامة مواقف 8 مواقف، واحد من عدها ميزان. ميزان يؤتى بميزان، ميزان يؤتى بميزان. هسه قد يكون من خشب، من حديد، من نحاس، ديجيتال، أنا ما أعرف. في ميزان توضع فيه في جانبه الحسنات وفي جانب آخر السيئات. إذا رجحت حسنات الإنسان على سيئاته خلص يفتحوا له الإشارة الخضراء يعبر. المصيبة الكارثة لا سمح الله إذا ترجحت سيئاته على حسناته. واحدة من الأمور التي توضع في ميزان المؤمن كحسنة من الحسنات وتثقل ميزانه، يعني ثقيلة هذه لصالح المؤمن، تثقل ميزانه وتجعل ميزان الحسنات أرجح من ميزان السيئات. ما هو؟ حسن الأخلاق. يقول: ما من شيء أثقل في الميزان من حسن الخلق. يشوف أن أخلاقه وضعت، حسن الخلق وضع في الميزان فرجحت على كل السيئات اللي كان عاملها، فيعبر. يقولوا له: يلا الآن تفضل اعبر الصراط. بسبب أخلاقه الحسنة يعبر الصراط بسهولة، يجتاز الصراط كالبرق اللامع كما تقول بعض الروايات والأحاديث. أكتفي بهذا في الخطبة الأولى لأنتقل إلى الخطبة الثانية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح، للجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام. الحمد لله الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ونبيك وحبيبك وصفيك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأطيب وأطهر ما صليت على أحد من العالمين. وصل على أخيه ووصيه من بعده علي أمير المؤمنين. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين. وصل اللهم على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف القائم الحجة المهدي. أرواحنا فداه، وعجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والذابين بين يديه بإذن الله. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most important qualities that Islam emphasizes in Muslim individuals is husn al-akhlaq, to have a good moral standing, to enjoy a good, lenient, and mellow personality, to be easygoing, not to be tough, to have good akhlaq. So when our Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam was asked to define for us husn al-akhlaq, what does it mean to have husn al-akhlaq, a good moral standing? He answered with the following answer: tulinu janibak, to be easygoing. Don't be rough. Don't be tough. Don't be so critical. Be easy. Easy with people. Easy with your family members. Easy with relatives. Nice with everybody. Don't become thrown on the side, being very critical, very judgmental, Stay away from being judgmental. لين الجانب, be easy. Don't be judgmental. Don't be critical. Whatever people ask you to do and you're able to do, say yes. If someone invites you over for dinner, say yes. Some people look at the person inviting them. If he is wealthy, they accept. If it is an important event, I will go. But if it's someone haram, hayyallah person from the community, who is poor, he is nobody, no, I'm not going to waste my time going to this guy's house. The Prophet ﷺ would accept every single invitation. Any one of you would go and invite the Prophet for dinner or lunch. The Prophet would not say no. Do you think the Prophet had nothing to do other than attending people's invitations? He had 1,000 things to do. But that's part of his akhlaq, his humility. To be easy and to be mingling with people and not to create barriers with people. تلين جانبك وتطيب كلامك. Use nice words, Al-Imam al-Sadiq says. To have husn al-akhlaq, always use nice words. Select the right choice of words. Some people are very rude. When they talk, they do not take in consideration people's feeling. And yet, they consider themselves to be extremely honest. No. Let's not confuse honesty with rudeness. Honesty is one thing, and being rude is another thing. Some people are rude. And when you tell them, when someone asks them, why are you rude? No, I'm not rude. I'm like Imam Ali alayhi salam. I say things as they are. Come on, Imam Ali was not rude. Don't compare yourself to Imam Ali. Don't compare yourself to Imam Ali. Imam Ali has never been rude. Saying the truth is one thing, being rude another thing. You can still say the truth and speak the truth, but without being demeaning, without being condescending, without pointing your finger on people's eyes. Use the right word, nice words. Unfortunately, there are some people who have a problem with their choice of words. They are very critical of others. Very critical of others. If you mention anybody's name, this guy is no good. He's a stingy. This man is a frugal. This man is arrogant. He has labels for everybody in the community, mashallah. He acts like a psychologist. He has labels for everybody. The only one he has no label for, himself. He is very good at labeling people. The Imam says one of the characteristics of a good Muslim with husn al-akhlaq, أن تطيب كلامك. Always use the right words, the right choice. Habibi, my dear brother, my friend. If someone, his name is Ali, and he is called Abu Hussein, he likes to be called Abu Hussein, call him Abu Hussein. No, I'm not going to call him Abu Hussein. I call people with their name. Min anta, who are you? To treat people that way. Treat people nicely with respect. Unless you don't know that he is Abu Hussein, you call him Haj Ali. But try to use the right word. Try always to use the nice word, the least offensive words. I gave one time an example, my dear brothers and sisters. If someone right now comes into the masjid to sit and listen to the khutbah, I have two choices to address him. I can be nice and respectful and tell him, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and tell him, Tfaddal. Tfaddal, sit down. But also, if I want to be rude and disrespectful, and I'm sorry for the choice of word I'm going to use, I'm just trying to make it easy for some people to understand where I'm coming from. Someone comes in looking for a place, I tell him, instead of Tfaddal, excuse my language, I tell him in Ibr. Tfaddal and in Ibr basically give the same meaning, mean sit down. But one is respectful and another one is extremely disrespectful. They basically give the same meaning. If I can say to people Tfaddal, why I should tell them in Ibr? Why I should use a harsh word? Again, my dear brothers and sisters, some people, especially those who believe they are mutadayyineen, mu'mineen, they have raised a long beard, and they consider themselves representatives of God on earth, and they have monopoly over religion. They become rude with people and justify what they do by saying, we are doing the right thing. We are being honest and frank. Honest and frank doesn't mean you go against the teachings of Islam. Our Holy Prophet ﷺ would always treat people, even those whom he disagrees with respect, with humility, with a smile on his face. وَتُطَيِّبُ كَلَامَكَ وَتَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِبِشْرٍ حَسَنٍ. The third characteristic of having good akhlaq is to meet your brothers and sisters in faith with an open face, meaning with a smile on your face. Don't frown. Honestly, there are people, you see them, you talk to them, they draw a very grim picture about life. They make you hate life. They are very negative, and their approach is very negative. Negative energy. They always pick on negative things in people's life. No. This life has many good sides, my dear brothers and sisters. Always look at the half full. Don't look at the half empty. Some people have a habit of blaming others for their failures. A guy came to me a long time ago. He had a marital issue with his wife. Upon listening to them, I didn't see that his wife is doing anything wrong. And I listened to him. What is your problem, brother? He says, Sayyid, since I married this woman, you know, I had bad luck. My business went down. I lost my house. I got in car accident, all because of her. I said, how do you know it is all because of her? Maybe it is your stupidity that is leading to all those catastrophes. How do you know it is her? And we don't have in Islam anything called bad luck, my dear brothers and sisters. I commit some stupid things. I make unwise decisions, whether financially or otherwise, and then when I fail, I look for the first victim to blame, and that is my wife. انت وشك ما في خير. انت وشك جاب لي المشاكل. والله ما في إلا وشك انت. It is your face that brings depression to everybody. Unfortunately, there are people who act that way, my dear brothers and sisters, who always put the blame on others, find fault with others. Don't be that person. Don't ever be that person. If I make a mistake in my life, I have to be courageous enough to take responsibility for my mistakes. I need to come out and say, you know what, it is my mistake, but I'm going to learn from my mistakes. And instead of saying it is my wife's face, my son's face, my neighbor's face, looking for many excuses, looking for others to blame them for my own failures. وَأَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِبِشْرٍ حَسَنٍ. Always you see a Muslim brother, always a smile in his face. Always try to be a good, positive impact on their lives. Wallahi, I meet some people, and the minute they sit and talk, they make me depressed for the rest of my day. Honestly. They keep complaining. They keep complaining about wife, about children, about business, about neighbors. Stop it. Stop it. People have 1,000 other things to do. Don't burden people with your issues. Try to be a source and fountain of happiness and jubilation for other people. Don't share with them your minute issues that they have no time to listen. Not only they have no time to fix. Always be upbeat, no matter what. Al-Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam one day was having guests, and he looked disturbed, very disturbed. Every few minutes he goes inside the house, he comes back. And then after a while he came, he sat, he relaxed. One of his friends asked, Ya ibn Rasulullah, what's going on? What happened? You looked very disturbed. Not at ease. But now we look at you, you're very relaxed. The Imam said, I had a baby who was very critical. And I was checking on him every now and then. And the man said, so what happened? Is he okay now? The Imam said, no, he passed away. He passed away. And you're sitting, relaxing? He says, yes, because when he was alive, it was my responsibility to tend to him. I'm a father and he's my son. But now that Allah took his amana, khalas. I refer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I defer to him. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So husnul akhlaq, my dear brothers and sisters, to always have good character. Now listen to su'ul akhlaq. When someone praying, fasting, pays dues, but he has bad temper. Listen to what the Prophet says. Su'ul khuluqi dhanbun la yughfar. To have bad temper, uncontrolled temper, is a sin that Allah will not forgive. Another hadith. إِنَّ الْعَبْدَ لَيَبْلُغُ مِنْ سُوءِ خُلُقِهِ أَسْفَلَ دَرَكِ جَهَنَّمَ. A man who was good, religious, standing, but he's supposed to go to the lowest level of hell because of his uncontrolled temper. This is what the Prophet says. And listen to this hadith, my dear brothers and sisters. Very interesting. قِيلَ لِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ إِنَّ فُلَانَةَ تَصُومُ النَّهَارِ وَتَقُومُ اللَّيْلِ وَهُيَ سَيِّئَةُ الْخُلُقِ تُؤْذِي جِيرَانَهَا بِلِسَانِهَا. The Prophet was told that there is a lady who fasts every day and she prays the whole night. She spends the night praying. However, she has very bad temper and she always abuses her neighbors with her tongue. Listen to what the Prophet had to say. قال لا خير فيها هي من أهل النار. The Prophet says there is nothing good in this lady. She's supposed to go to hell. Hell? She prays, she fasts. Yes, she prays and fasts, but she is abusive. She's abusive to others. What do I get out of akhlaq? What my neighbor, my community gets out of my prayer and my fasting when I don't have good akhlaq? When I abuse people with my words, when I abuse everyone with hurtful comments, what do people get out of my salah and siyam? Nothing. Nothing. Salah and siyam is supposed to teach me how to act, how to behave, how not to be abusive. But if my salah and siyam is not teaching me any lesson and I continue to be abusive, degrading, demeaning, then there is no point behind the salah and siyam. My dear brothers and sisters, I have a few comments before I move toward conclusion. The first comment I have is this past week there was elections on Tuesday, the primary election. And Arabs and Muslims and other allies of Muslims and Arabs in Michigan send a powerful message to President Biden by voting and committed. I salute all those brothers and sisters who took it upon themselves to go to the voting booth on Tuesday and cast their voice and their vote as uncommitted. That sent a powerful message to President Biden and his administration, my dear brothers and sisters. It speaks volumes that no one should take Muslims and Arabs for granted. No one should say, you know what, those Arabs have no other choice. They have to vote for me because the other guy is worse than me. That's wrong, Mr. President, if you think that way. And the result of having over 100,000 voters in Michigan voting and committed rattled the White House. I'm telling you. I've been following up with news. The President and the White House were shocked to know that there are at least right now 100,000 voters in Michigan voting and committed. And that means Mr. Biden should not take the presidency in November for granted. He should not feel good about it. That khalas, I am the president and I should not worry. Muslims will vote for me. No. No, we have a choice. And our choice, even in November, we may not vote for the other cynical guy, Trump, but we will not also vote. We may not vote for Biden if he does not change course. We will vote uncommitted. And that will cost him the presidency. And if it costs him the presidency, he should not blame Muslims and Arabs. He should blame his own blind and biased policies toward Muslims and particularly toward people in Gaza. So, what happened on Tuesday sent a message loud and clear that Muslims have a powerful weapon to use against those presidents and politicians who always bow to the pro-Israeli forces in this country. Don't take us for granted. And this biased and unconditional and a blind support of yours toward Israel may cost you the election in November. So I would like to thank our community for going out, for casting their vote as uncommitted, and for sending such powerful message. Yesterday, my dear brothers and sisters, as Palestinians in Gaza were trying to get their share of food, as you know, the vast majority of people in Gaza are starving right now. They don't have anything to eat. They have literally nothing to eat. As trucks, UN trucks were delivering food, and people rushed toward their trucks to get their share of food, Israel started shooting them. Israel killed over 100 individuals, injuring over 800 individuals. Recklessly and brutally and cold-bloodedly. This is nothing new, my dear brothers and sisters. Israel has proven to be the most thuggish government in the entire world, time and again, that they have no regard whatsoever for a human right and for human life and for the sanctity of life. You know, the irony, my dear brothers and sisters, that Israel always speaks about the Holocaust, that they are the remnant of the Holocaust survivor. If you are the remnant of the Holocaust survivor, is this the way you treat other people? By causing another Holocaust? You have to be the least harmful people after going through the Holocaust, and it is agony. For them to come and kill Palestinians cold-bloodedly, this shows that evil runs deep in them, my dear brothers and sisters. They have no regard whatsoever for human life. And finally, my dear brothers and sisters, this past week, a young American soldier called Aaron Bushnell, he set fire on himself and he died while protesting American and Israeli actions in Gaza, protesting the Israeli genocide against people in Gaza. We salute this man. We salute Aaron Bushnell for taking such bold action by sending a powerful message that many American soldiers and servicemen and women do disagree with the policies of their own government when it supports Israel unconditionally, when it continues to send weapons to Israel so Israel can kill more innocent people in Gaza. We salute this man. I consider this man to be a shaheed. Yes, not in the religious sense, but in the patriotic sense. That this man sacrificed his life for the truth, so he can make Americans open their eyes and their minds to what's happening in Gaza. He was trying to tell average Americans that what's happening in Gaza now, the death and destruction and genocide, it is mainly caused by the tax money paid by American people, by weapons manufactured by American people and American companies. So yes, Americans are complicit in this tragedy. And I believe that President Biden have blood on his hand, the blood of the Palestinians on his hand, for enabling Israel to continue its genocide against the Palestinians. If it was not for the support of the administration, American administration, Israel would have stopped its aggression, had no choice but stopped. But it is the enabling of this administration, the continued support and unconditional support for Israel that is enabling a criminal, a thug like Netanyahu to continue his aggression, his massacres against Palestinians, unfortunately. So this man, Aaron Bushnell, deserves respect, deserves salutation from us, and he deserves all the honor that should be bestowed on any brave soldier. Yes, he didn't die in the battlefield, but he died while sending a powerful message to all American people that you're wrong when you choose to stand with the oppressor, with the aggressor. When you choose to take money from this country where it is so much needed. Can you imagine, my dear brothers and sisters, we have over 30, 40 million people who are uninsured in this country, who have no medical insurance. We have millions of college students who owe debt to companies for their education. And instead of spending those billions of dollars on the infrastructure, on these people, our administration steals this money from taxpayers and send it to Israel. So Israel can kill more Palestinians, more innocent Palestinians. Americans should wake up and object to this utter injustice. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك قاضي الحاجات إنك على كل شيء قدير ولقضاء حوائجنا ولأرواح شهدائنا خصوصا في غزة والضفة الغربية وفي لبنان وفي كل مكان نقرأ السورة المباركة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق